The real danger of having a church is that it leads to a dichotomy between faith and life. We tend to domesticate God, as if God only lives in the church. God is the Emmanuel. He is everywhere. Jesus was always living in the midst of His people. The pulpit that Jesus preached was not in a synagogue. It was in the desert, in the wasteland. It was at the seashore. Where was Jesus in His preaching? He was always with the people, with the sick, with the needy. Jesus was the presence of God in Himself, and He carries the presence wherever He went. Although we need a church to encounter God, we must realize this, and it's very important that all of us, we must be the living presence of God to others. After worship, we must depart to serve. After praying and worshiping God, then we must be able to find and to recognize the presence of God in our fellow men, in those who are sick, in those who are suffering, in those who are even difficult people. We are called to be God's encouraging word. We are called to be the one who can lift up people from their pain, from depression. We are all called to offer a word of encouragement. These are the ways in which we make God present. And so please let us not confine God in the church only. And if we cannot speak about God, at least we can make God present in our daily lives, in the way we reach out to others. And so for this to happen, of course, we cannot be the presence of God, we cannot be the visitation of God to others unless we are connected with the Lord. So in this sense, the Eucharist is important, because if we do not draw strength from the Lord, we cannot become His presence. Receiving the Eucharist make us united with Jesus. Receiving the Eucharist help us to be transformed into the Eucharist for others, that we too ourselves become bread broken for others. So let us draw strength from God so that we too can become His living presence among men.